Hello, welcome to The Studio Demands It, an exercise in creative thinking where TC and Jim conceptualize, pitch, and craft a film or series based on the demands of one of their listeners, acting as hypothetical Hollywood overlord.
Overlord!
Except that's not happening today. Today, TC and Jim, they're here with me. My name is Dawn Joyal, and I am going to get to the bottom of The Studio Demands It. I'm trying to ask the questions you would like me to ask and learn some new information about the series.
The bottom.
We are an open screenplay.
Okay, so let's hear about the origin story.
The origin of the studio
podcast,
Demands It?
yes.
That's
Well, you see, one day a meteor fell to Earth, a strange meteor from a strange star, and
far off galaxy.
and where it landed, a farmer noticed it was in his field, and he went out to it and he picked it up, but it was very hot, so it burnt right through his hand.
Oh, my hand hurt, and my hand fell off. Went right through it.
Yeah. And he sold it to a pawn shop, never got his hand back. And we found it. We went to the pawn shop and we found it. And
we were looking for brass knuckles.
Yeah, because we had
We've been in.
we had a plumbing project at the house, and we needed brass knuckles for them.
Yeah.
We will go no further into that.
Yeah.
But
not worth exploring.
But TC saw this meteor on the show, and he's like, "Oh, look! What if I was Green Lantern?" I was like, "You're not Green Lantern. Stop saying that." And he bought it just to make me mad.
To spite him. I said, "I'll prove to you."
On the way home, it whispered to us, "You should do a movie podcast."
Just like that. Yeah. Two voices at once.
And your experience was exactly the same as Jim's.
I remember almost exactly the same way, except the farmer that lost his hand in picking up the meteor. I don't think he was a farmer. I not a traditional farmer.
Somehow I knew you were going to say that.
I think he was I think it was like a windmill farmer. Like, I don't think he dealt with animals or anything. That's the only difference that I had.
You always shoot down my ideas.
Pure nonsense.
I'm making a mockery of the interview. I'm sorry.
No, that was another one of my questions. So what do you...
We can do the actual origin. Listen.
I figured we would. The thing is, I don't know. I'm feeling cheeky. I'm feeling silly.
In 2019, before the pandemic era, Jim and I were just hanging out at my house, and we had the TV on, and it was one of the movie stations. It wasn't even pre-streaming. It was a cable station probably. And it was
actually, I came over and we were just hanging out, and you put it on. I
legitimately was like, we're gonna watch Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yeah, we're gonna watch. It was to have something on while we hung out and just hung out. Yeah. Because at the time we were hanging out with the hopeful intention of writing scripts. We had started doing that at that time. But I do remember it was DVD.
Yeah. Okay, so I popped in the DVD, and as it was playing, I complained, man, this movie is such a disappointment because they so clearly were just trying to redo Wrath of Khan, which is folly. Why would you do such a thing? It is arguably the best Star Trek movie. Why would you go back to that well? Especially because the 2009 Star Trek that J.J. Abrams did left the door wide open for them to literally go any direction they wanted to. And yet they still chose to repeat what had already been done before. And so I was whinging about that, and Jim turns to me and goes, well, clearly they were told they had to do that.
Yeah.
So if that is the case,
how would you do it? The studio says, okay, TC DeWitt, you get to direct this second Star Trek movie, but you have to include the Khan story.
Right. And then what unfolded there over the next 2.5 hours, two-ish hours of watching the movie in real time was like, well, I wouldn't do that, but I would do this, and I would tweak this to here and this to there, and well, actually that makes Uhura sort of like a damsel, so let's nix that, and then we bounced ideas back and forth through that whole movie, and when we got to the end of it, the credits are rolling, and we're very proud of ourselves for obviously making a better movie.
We're so smart.
And Jim turns to me and goes, is this something? Is this a thing?
Yeah, because for the year or two previous, probably almost going all the way back to when I had you do voices for Misfit Heights. Or maybe not that far, but you had been saying you'd been suggesting doing a podcast, and I didn't want to do anything. I was like, I don't have nothing to say.
But you did have things to say.
Yeah, and with that, this was the perfect idea because that is what we do all the time. Is talk about movies, and it was like, yeah, we're never going to stop that. We'll never get. We'll never run out of stuff to talk about, right? Because if we had done a podcast about
just about Star Trek,
yeah, just Star Trek, you'd be like, that'll run dry.
Right.
I don't know about you, I won't speak for you, but I'll be done talking about that after like 10 episodes.
Yeah. And the timing on Studio Demands It as a pitch was pretty serendipitous because The Rewatchman had pretty much run its course. Mm-hmm. Ben had moved on to other things. So
tell Dawn what Rewatchman is.
The Rewatchman was my previous podcast that I had done with Ben Toe. We did it for the Ghost Hat Network, Jeff Bell, and it was we would watch movies that we or people had very strong opinions about that we had not watched in a long time, and so we'd rewatch the movies and re-review them. And Ben and I did that for quite a while until it sort of just ran its course and life went in different directions. And I had been doing the 1 minute rewatch for the BitLife channel. Mm-hmm. And that was reaching the end because I got in a little creative differences over content. Nothing that was like I was mad about it. It was just sort of like, I think I want to go a different direction creatively. And David, the godfather of 6.5 Media, had been trying to find an excuse to work with me on literally anything. So it sort of just all kind of coincided nicely where David was offering me a slot to do a show on the network if I wanted to. And Jim suggested this. Mm-hmm. Rewatchman had ended. And I was like, I think this is a thing. I think this could be a thing. And also, you had said you'd run out after 10. I said, let's do an episode 0, which ended up being episode 1, which was Die Hard 6. And let's commit to 10, and that's it. If we get to 10, I'll tell people about it. And that's less,
I remember you saying that.
Like, if we get to 10, I'll tell people about it. Because Rewatchman had been a thing where, like, I told everyone about it and no one listened to it. So it was a sort of a protective, like, we're going to do this for us. Yeah. No matter what, we're doing this for us. We'll do 10 episodes. We'll see what happens. David made me commit to 13, but I was like, we can do it.
What's he going to do? Come here and make us talk into microphones?
So after 6 seasons, what do you like best about doing it?
Oh, what do we like best about doing the show?
Any aspect of it you can, whatever comes to mind when you're saying, when I ask that question.
Jim, anything pop to your head? This cat is being super vocal today.
It's okay. It's just an interview.
My natural state is to be lazy and empty. So what it does is it allows me to be creative. Like it forces me into the practice of being creative, which I would like to think I would do anyway, but I wouldn't do it to quite the same level. The time parameters of the show also are really nice for honing that knife of imagination. In case you were wondering, imagination is a knife.
I can see it.
Yeah, Jim and I are going to geek out and talk about stuff anyway, so I just like that we've been able to time capsule all these years together. The thing I love most about it is it's never really the same thing twice. We have reoccurring themes that we'll play with. We know sort of the area we are most confident in, but challenging ourselves with very specific IPs and that creative exercise. I'm a runner. I work out. I know that working out makes you a better runner, and that goes creatively as well. Doing this as regularly as we've done it for 6 years is a workout. Like, we are consistently challenging ourselves to create and entertain, perform for each other, and create things that we genuinely like, and I love it.
And I think that X factor of having audience suggestions, the parameters of the studio, help that even more, because a lot of people sit around and like their own ideas, but trying to craft an idea that you are still going to like with while also trying to please someone else is a particular path of that skill.
I do a lot of writing for clients, for a lot of producers and directors and actors, and oftentimes, not often, frequently enough, their ideas are not fully baked. I find them.
You're the writer. You figure it out.
Yeah, and then it's a matter of like, how do I write something I like that's also something they want, and more or less convince them that it was their idea, and so playing to the studio, the arbitrary powers that be that say you guys have to do this. That's a fun aspect of the game of this as well. Mm-hmm. We've without putting too much pressure on ourselves, hardly any, we've created this gamified challenge of creativity, and we have risen to the occasion multiple times, I'd like to think.
Yes, we have. Pat.
Well, this is a good segue. What is the timing in the 6 years where you started to see your subscribers increase?
Oh, I actually, you probably have no clue.
No.
The first time we crossed over with David, so David's been doing Another Zelda podcast longer than we have. I think he's coming up on 10 years. I probably should know that, but David has been doing AZP, which is the foundation of 6.5 Media, longer. The first time we crossed over with him, which is I guested on his show, and then he guested on ours, we had a sudden bump in subscribers because he brought people over from his show that were like, oh, David guested over there, let's go take a listen. And every time we get the AZP bump, we stay at that level. So it's not like we get a bump for just his episode and it goes away. We get a new bump of listeners, and then we more or less plateau or rise a little bit, and then the next season. That was the first time we saw like a listenership bump, but it was Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 3, which is the end of season 3, that took us into season 4. We got a bump beyond AZP where we actually produced something that people listened to in the thousands that then helped our show maintain listenership. We always get a huge bump for the finale, which makes sense. It's a feature. But when those numbers stick around, that's always really gratifying.
Who specifically are you trying to entertain in each show?
Him. I'm trying to entertain Jim.
Good
answer. That's a lie. I'm trying to entertain me.
Also, I lied too. I'm just trying to entertain myself.
You agree?
No, that's a very good question. Certainly hope that people are listening to this and are being entertained by us, but it has been part of our ethos from the beginning, and I've said it already, even just in this. Yeah. We're going to do this anyway.
Yeah, those like when you said the first 10 episodes, that's for us, and that's sort of what it always has been. Because what I just interrupted you saying, we are like if we weren't recording this, we would be sitting on that couch watching something, talking the same stuff we would be talking on the podcast.
Maybe, and maybe it wouldn't be like full structure every time, but there's often enough where we are watching stuff and
it's not even always about that stuff. Sometimes like we could be watching name a thing.
Andor.
We could be watching Andor, and I'd be like, why do you think Godzilla does this and this? Don't you think it'd be cool if Godzilla were to instead like eat a sun or something?
Yeah. My favorite tangent off that is when I tell Jim a project I'm working on, I'll tell him the title of the project, and he'll go, great title, and then I'll tell him what I'm writing. He goes, that's stupid. This is what I would do with that title, which is why we have an episode that is great title, bad movie.
Yep.
But yeah, who are we trying to entertain? We obviously hope that the people listening are entertained by us. But yeah, I'm entertaining myself, and I'm hoping Jim's entertained by me as well. And then anyone who chooses to listen and continue to listen, I'm so happy when we get that listener feedback. Mm-hmm. We have a handful of like diehard fans who comment every time. That's pretty gratifying.
Okay. I think that actually does touch though on more than just who are we trying to entertain with the podcast. It touches actually on. I'll actually speak for you because I think we've had this discussion and you are the same way. With everything we make, we're actually trying to. We are the first audience because if we like it, if we make a thing that we genuinely like, there are people out in the world that will also like that. If we try to make something that other people are going to like that we don't necessarily like, it's not going to resonate as a genuine work. We bring that to the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, this is a good next question then, coming off of that. Both being writers, what has SDI taught you about writing?
No, don't make me go first on this one. You go first.
What has it taught me about writing? I have, even before we started doing this, you're right. Before we started episode 1, we had been trying to write together, and I've written with countless people, but I had been looking for a writing partner, someone that I could truly meet and collaborate with, to the point of annoyance of other people I've written with or collaborated with. Like, well, it's not fair. You talk to Jim this way and he talks to you this way. It's like, that's because the two of us can collaborate together without hurting each other's feelings most of the time, and find a way to tell stories with similar interests and where we differ. I will bow to your expertise on things. I will convince you of things I think I'm more expert on, and that
I'm nodding.
Yeah, he's not audible. Nod. The collaboration of the Studio Demands It has been really wonderful, and this shows me as a writer where my passions really are, because I write for hundreds of people, and I'm writing for them. I'm doing my best to make me care. I care about my work. I do a good job, but I'm writing for someone else. When I'm writing for myself, that's what this show has shown me as a writer. Is like, this is what I love. I've been able to define, even more than I've been able to in the past years of my life, what I love about movies. This show proved to me, I was like, ooh, I can narrow down the specific thing I love about a film if a group of people all scream at the same time in peril, and everyone goes, ah! Sign me up. We just watched something. I even said that. I was like,
you did. I can't
it was Return to Oz. I was like,
that's
Jim,
right.
look, that's why I love this movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a TC movie if everyone does that.
So
That's funny.
that's at least something I learned from this in terms of like writing.
I'm going to be a little more selfish in my answer. It's taught me that I can write. So I have a lot of self-doubt, like crippling self-doubt.
And you should.
Sorry.
Thank you for affirming my feelings.
Yeah, that's not what I'm here for.
And it reassures me that I still have some fire in there to do this, to keep going, and that I have something. I'll just keep the analogy of the spark, the fire.
Yeah.
I got that.
Some of my favorite episodes are where I am on my back foot and like you take the lead on it, because it's something that you just happen to like have a good read on that I don't, and like I almost get to step back and watch you tell the story, and I'm like, more of that. Well, I don't know, Jim, is that a good? Whatever you say. I can't even specific. Like I could pick like Deadlands. Obviously, you know about that. And like when we go to like Western, and I usually default to you on horror stuff. There are those occasions of, and that goes back to the collaboration of this, where I love learning new things and not knowing things and being able to use what I do know with someone who doesn't know it, like that element of it. So you do. Yeah, you good. I'm glad the fire keeps burning.
Yeah.
So after 6 seasons, what are the challenges? Do you set new goals for yourself in the next season?
Sort of.
Yeah, administratively, like I will make some decisions. Like I'm the one who picked search engine optimization. So in season 4, I said no.
I proposed it.
Yeah, okay.
But again, that whole lazy thing that I meant, it was, you think there's a good idea, and you thought about it, and you decided.
Okay. Well,
you decided, this is a thing.
So the question was, what challenges do we have after 6 seasons? I was curious, because when you brought it up, I was like, there might be something to us picking demands just in topic that coincided with the release of something. And so starting season 4, we started doing that, where we were like, okay, this movie comes out in July. Let's find a topic to pull from the demands, or we'll pick we'll look for this word, we'll pick these demands, and then at random pick the one that we're going to do. The challenge in that, we actually discovered it this year, the end of the year is not great for IP. So it was like, we got kind of like junk coming out at the end of the year.
Specifically our year, not the movie release year.
Yeah, where our season ends, because we end in November, October, November, so that we can just spend the next 2 months writing the feature. But the fun of that then became, we can actually take a step back and do the more outlandish or wild or weird demands that we don't have a search engine optimization moment for elsewhere in the year. So there's that, and then there's also the challenge of, again, writing for ourselves and the stuff that we like, but also challenging ourselves with demands we wouldn't necessarily default to. There's some fun to be had in that.
Talk about the ones you avoid.
Oh, well, we just talked about this recently, yeah.
Which one?
What subject matters and demands we avoid?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, I don't know if I'm remembering the same conversation, but it's less like it's less of it being a taboo topic, but more this is where us trying to craft a show people will want to listen to, where it's not for us first, is weird topics or like niche ones, right? Like, hey, Jim and TC remake
Kolchak, the Night Stalker.
Sure, yeah, Kolchak. I love.
You can say you love it.
Yeah,
I loved that.
I love Kolchak the Night Stalker so much, but that episode is like the only people who are going to listen to it are the people who are going to listen to all the episodes.
Sure.
That was a great pull. I was like thinking. I went to Alan Quatermain is where I went.
Sure.
Yeah.
We kind of discussed recently. I've been able to really determine my love of cinema, my love of film is truthfully blockbuster cinema. I love going to the movies, and that's not to say I don't love me some indie film, quiet movies, like really contemplative movies. I love those. But what brings me joy, Steven Spielberg and Robert Zemeckis and George Lucas and like those wonderful blockbuster movies that have all the fun and fancy and adventure in them. So because of that, this show is sort of built to entertain first and foremost, if not ourselves, the listeners. And picking something like Alan Quatermain or Kolchak, we would have people going, skipping that episode. I don't know what that topic is, which is fair. We understand our show is sort of at random. But to that point, I'm not saying we couldn't do a rom-com or just a straight romance demand.
Yeah, that's
or
a better way to...
or a straight drama, because we have. I think the only drama we truly can say we did, aside from the biopic episode, was we did a Typhoid Mary episode. But we tend not to go towards dramas and romance movies. And Jim hates love, but I love love.
Well, I'm just so the same way that you've honed in on explicitly what you like and what drives you. I need that, like the complement of what you inject into what I bring is dark and creepy and weird stuff. I adore independent cinema. I love weird, gross, cheap things. Like,
give me a Glorious.
Things like that, or even cheaper. Like a good old trauma movie is something I'd be up for. And sometimes you need a little more than nuclear snot.
Genres you return to often, and suggestions you'd be happy to put on a shelf for a year or three.
Ooh, I have gone on my way, and to appeal to Jim whether he wants it or not, to do a Western every year. I always try to find a way for us to play with cowboys every year.
I like to believe that I'm really observant, and I believe I am really not, because he told me that last week?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Maybe the week before. I didn't notice. I was like we do the seasons and one comes up and I'm like, oh, okay. But I never put it together like, hey, this is probably more often than they should come up.
We try not to repeat intellectual property, like franchises. It's not to say we haven't done a couple Marvel episodes in a season, but we haven't repeated a Star Wars. We tend to feel like if we manage a big episode, a great idea for a specific, like a Batman, we're not going to do another Batman that season. However, we have done like Marvel movies in the year, or I think that's probably like the best example is Marvel. But as far as like shelving, well, actually to that point of like avoiding things, even when we pick our nominees for the finale, we do take into consideration, well, we've done 3 superhero movies now. Maybe we shouldn't do another superhero movie this year, or at least not push for it. But we're a little selective on that. Like Batman season 4's finale was Threshold of Chaos, was Mystery Inc., and it literally tied with Batman, and so it came up to us to break the tie, and we chose Mystery Inc. Thank God. My favorite one, because we had done Justice League 2 years earlier. So we're like, do we really want to do another Batman? We just did Spider-Man last year. Let's try something different and see what it does for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's the only thing where like shelving really is involved is in the finale where we get really curate-y about it. Otherwise, I don't know that there's anything where we're like, sick of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this ever again.
This next question is a little more specific. Any idea, character, plot that's living in your head that's never found a home?
Jim does this great thing for me when I talk about the scripts I write for clients. From time to time, he'll say, don't give them that. Keep that line of dialogue for yourself.
Yeah.
Keep that plot point for yourself. It's too good to give away, even if they're paying you for it.
Yeah.
And so every now and then I will like, oh, that's thank you. I will keep that for myself. With the show, you've talked about this in previous. There is that slight little bit of like, do I really want to put this on the air now? Because what if someone takes it?
Well, right, because actually, even before we called it The Studio Demands
The original title of the show.
The original title of the show was Steal This Movie or Steal This Idea.
Steal This Idea, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. You told me that once
My Google
before.
Doc is still called that.
Okay.
And so to that end, well, I don't want someone to steal this idea, so I'm not going to say it.
But there goes to the point of we do mostly existing properties,
Right.
Yeah.
which is fan fiction. That's mostly what this show is. There's very rare occasions where we get to come up with something wholly original.
Truly original, yeah.
And so therefore those ideas can stay protected, or not protected, just to ourselves. Because we certainly have our legion of original ideas that aren't Star Wars, Superman, whatever.
Well, and technically those fall outside of the parameters of the podcast, which is the studio demanding a thing. Our original characters wouldn't be demanded by the studios until we make them, and then the studios are like, more of that, please.
Yeah. There was the demand, season 2, our final mainline episode of that season was pitch your big pitch. Like we demand you pitch what you desperately want to pitch. That's when you did Deadlands, and I did Superman Birthright.
That sounds right.
Sounds right, yeah. No, Secret Identity. I did Mark Waid's Secret Identity. Oh. Yeah. But it was those two, yeah.
Any areas in the podcast you disagree most often? Is there an
Love.
area?
Love.
Oh,
Even just today, I was like, "Hey, what if Bones and Beverly Crusher have a little romantic interest in each other?" And you sort of went,
So, well, okay, all right. My reason for that though is because there's a ship between Beverly and Jean-Luc, and I don't want to undo that. I don't want to.
That's true.
That's what I don't want to undo.
I don't think it's truly that Jim bumps up against the love per se, but
so the reason I bump up against it is because I find it so often cliche.
Yeah.
And it feels so often forced in.
Yes, I agree.
And I realize I might be more sensitive to that than other people. But that's really how and why and when I don't like relationships in
I use it as an opportunity to prove sexy lamp theory, to see if we are capable of writing something that's not a sexy lamp. Is that the thing we disagree most on? I think the one episode I can think of that we couldn't agree until we finally found it was Alien Frontier, because I was looking to do more of an Alien 2 and you were more looking for an Alien 1, and we couldn't, because it was Sullivan, one of our listeners and friends, commented I loved listening to you guys fight that whole episode. And we both were like, did we fight that whole episode?
I guess we fought.
I thought we came up with something good by the end of it, and it was just a disagreement on tone. And I think probably that's where we might trip each other up a little bit. of like not agreeing on tone. But I don't think we've had any like our failures on the show have come like as an effort between the two of us. Of like, oh, we failed there.
Okay, an actual film that came scarily close to a pitch you did on.
Oh yeah, that has happened a couple times where we've pitched something.
I felt like season 1 had a lot.
Well, Terminator. Mm-hmm. Gosh, there was another one. Mario.
Yep.
Mario was like
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yep. So at least those 3. Yeah. And that was all season 1.
Yeah.
It is so validating. We've talked about this. When we go to see something, even Deadpool, like when we saw Deadpool 3, there's this little bit of pride that swells of like, hell yeah, we got the finger on the pulse.
Yep. Because even the Deadpool was thematically similar.
It was near enough. So like when I don't know, scarily might be the wrong word for it. When something comes out that's close to something we pitched, it's sort of satisfying.
I get scared.
You get scared.
It's
the thing we did that we were like, I mean, I was like, woohoo about, and David literally texted us about it, was in the show Star Wars Acolyte. There's a moment where a lightsaber becomes a red lightsaber, like a kyber crystal gets corrupted. And David, like the day that episode aired, David, they stole your idea. Like we might not have been the first ones to think of that, but we'll take it.
Yep.
Did a brilliant idea for an episode that you just finished ever occur like after you're finished and it's
Yes.
Yeah.
God, Terminator, the last 5 minutes of that episode, you're like, actually, what about this? And you just rattled off in like a minute a better idea.
Yeah, and I think it was after you did the outro.
Yeah.
It was like anything. It was like, what about this? And
you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, there we go. 2 hours worth.
Certainly it's something we started doing when we moved the show to bonus territory and created the Patreon where people can hear extended episodes. The reason we knew we could do that was because after we'd finish episodes, we'd end the episode and then we'd keep talking for about 20 minutes.
Because again, we're going to do this whether the mic's on or not.
So then I was like, let's just end the episode but keep recording, and then those extra ideas that come out, really it helps us for the finale to go like, oh, we did develop this further. In fact, I should go listen to the Patreon episode of Star Trek since as recording this interview, that's where we're about in our timeline. So yeah, that does happen from time to time where we come up with a better or more ideas after the fact.
I didn't know you did that, by the way. That's interesting. Which of you is more apt to make a reference the other doesn't know?
Jim.
Me, yeah.
Give an example.
Kolchak the Night
Kolchak
Stalker.
the Night Stalker, yeah. The only reason TC knows it is because I have dropped the reference so many times. Do you know who plays Kolchak the Night Stalker?
No.
Darren McGavin.
Okay. I do now. Yeah, Jim's more likely to make the reference. Honestly, the $5 word jar belongs to you as well, because Jim has a great vocabulary that he will.
That audio. That sound was me shining my fingernails.
Yeah, Jim's gonna make the reference. I'd like to think I have more encyclopedic knowledge for like mainline IPs.
Oh, absolutely.
So like Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Star Trek. Like
and actual industry stuff. Like I'm a goober for all the weird gutter things, but I don't know who directed or much less produced like
this film or another. Yeah. So there's some give and take there, but the weird stuff, Jim is gonna.
Yeah.
Do you try to stump your listeners sometimes with references?
No, I don't think so.
So you expect that they get everything?
It's just the way my brain works is when I get to a reference that I would make to one of like my 2 or 3 friends back in the Midwest, I would just say it, and then I'm also used to them making references at me, and then you either get it or you don't, and you say it or you like. I'm going on a tangent and I'm getting lost in an idea now. I think actually one of the reasons our dialogue works is because you communicate in that similar fashion. So if I drop a reference, you either pick it up and run with it, or you say you don't, and then I have to explain it. But I realize that's how everything and everyone works, but the way it's done specifically is organic, and I don't know how to...
It's conversational.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if I get the reference, then I'm happy to get it. If I don't get it, I'm like, you need to explain that. And that goes to how we do the show. We don't edit the show. When we get our dead air, vamping it was a season 1 thing. We're like, you need to vamp while I look something up because neither of us know the answer to this.
It's still a thing. It's I'm better at this. I'm better at stuttering.
I love
guess.
making Jim vamp. Like if I have to get up and leave the room, I'm like,
because my vamping is always talking about the vamp.
So the vamping starts with a V. It's a V word. Not many of those.
I forgot the question.
It was about stumping your listeners with references.
No, I don't do it on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, and our listeners catch stuff that we don't necessarily realize we've said or done.
Mm-hmm.
One of our listeners for season 6, which we just completed, pointed out how many horror episodes we did this year, and it didn't even strike me that we had done as many as we had. So our listeners are catching things.
That was my next
smartly.
question. Does it show up in the comments, or are listeners too shy?
It seems to be that most of the listeners are too shy because we don't get
Really?
we don't get a substantial amount of interactions. Most of the interactions I get through monitoring the Patreon, what it used to be Twitter, Instagram, or private messages. There's must be a lot of introverted listeners who are happy to engage in one-on-one conversations.
I have a small handful of listeners who partake in the Discord. So we have little conversations going on there.
Yeah, but that interaction is seeing the numbers of like when we have big numbers on an episode. It's like cool that many people listened, but getting 2 or 3 comments from listeners to us, that's even more exciting.
Yeah,
because it creates a conversation that we can just like, oh yeah, further development. And I love it when listeners go, yeah, I like what you did here. It would have been cool if you'd done this, and they pitch back, which is part of the creative fun of this. If we were all sitting at the lunchroom table, that after Jim and I talked for 20 minutes straight, someone of our friends would go,
you guys are dumb, and it should have been like this.
It should have been this. Like, ooh, yeah.
Name a favorite film of yours.
Just in general?
Yep.
Brazil.
Back to the Future.
Oh, okay. What do you think it says about you?
I'm a weirdo.
I like Brazil.
Yeah. I think that lends to the fantasy and adventure that I wish to exist in, the safety of that sort of peril is probably what it says about me.
Okay, this is not a question, but I want you to talk about crossovers, and Studio demands it. You do them a lot. They're all over.
You mean like with other podcasts?
When you cross over genres in the films.
Okay, yeah. Crossovers, we cross over with AZP,
Yeah.
but you mean like mashing genres together?
I don't even know what to call it, so yeah, that's fine. That's what I meant.
I like when we will, like, for example, we did Blade, and Blade being a vampire meant it was going to have some horror elements to it as much as action, and knowing how much stumbling they've had in trying to write the actual Blade movie, it's a disagreement on how much horror should go in this, how much adventure how much superhero stuff should go into it, and finding a way to balance Blade's core character, which is he's a vampire hunter in the Marvel universe, allowed us to play with some cross-genre stuff in that, and that just makes it a more fun experience to write. Because if we were just writing a straight superhero movie, we could do that. If we were writing a straight horror movie, we could do that. But having a superhero vampire allowed us to do that. Weird West is the other one I was going to mention.
Oh, sure. Yeah, horror and Western.
Yeah.
They go together so well. Not necessarily like flavors you would expect, but, oh, man.
They pair well together.
Yeah. Like wine and cheese. Why does that go together? I'm just going to talk about mixing genres in general, not about that particular pairing. I like it. I think it's almost like creative jet fuel, because you get to marry 2 different genres or disparate ideas. Like, how do you get these things to cross over? And what it reminds me of is two things. It reminds me a lot of comic books. I know comic books, most people think of superheroes. Comics are a lot more than that, although we're probably going to end up talking about those more here. But I'm thinking specifically of Dark Horse Comics. Dark Horse still exists, but I'm thinking of back in the day, 90s era Dark Horse Comics. They had a lot of IPs, and they kind of did this where it wasn't necessarily that readers were like, yeah, cross RoboCop with Terminator, figure it out. They were doing that in their offices, and they were printing these books, and I was a kid and picking these things up and reading them. It was amazing seeing these movies and TV shows told in reading these other stories that aren't on the big screen, and that's what a lot of what we do feels like. And even more immature than that, it feels like playing with toys as a kid. You would take your Hot Wheels car and your G.I. Joe and have them fighting or whatever they're doing around your sister's Barbie kitchen.
Yeah.
And it just even in that, it's mashing together all of these different genres and crossing things over, and it being able to play in so many different tones and styles for so much of my life really lets you kind of see the common story behind all of that, and it feels primal. Makes it feel like real, like caveman, but that's not the word I mean. It feels essential. It feels skeletal to what the human experience is.
Because and to go off of that, the stories as they are, like the structure, the skeleton of a story is the same in a horror movie as it is in a drama, as it is in a comedy. Like structure can change, or structure doesn't need to change. It's how you add to the beats of the story. The best, I challenge anyone, and it's going to be an easy challenge. Think of the best movies of all time, or like the most beloved movies of all time. None of them are a single genre. Like Jurassic Park, we talked to both of you about this recently, is a horror movie. It's a monster horror adventure family drama. Like Spielberg didn't just make a one specific thing. Spielberg for the peaks of his career has always mashed genres really well. I'd say like sure, Saving Private Ryan is a war drama. Not much more to it than that, but Indiana Jones and E.T. has horror elements to it. I would say Temple of Doom has horror elements to it. I don't know why I'm fixating on horror, but the majority of the best movies ever are a multitude of things. It's sort of what people complain about with, like, Marvel always quips. It's an action adventure. Go watch a Shane Black movie from the 80s, okay? Quips, as you call, like one-liners.
Indiana Jones. It's not. It's not the. What?
It's not the line.
Say
it's
the
not
line.
the years. It's the miles.
Yes, thank you.
So like people when they talk about everyone in Marvel quips, it's like it's because the genre asks for it to be a sci-fi adventure superhero action drama, and hey, keep it light, folks, right?
Yeah.
And so I think melding genres is essential to storytelling, because you can appeal to people in their base sense. Like, oh, I don't like a horror movie. Well, I mean, hold on. You like Ghostbusters? Because technically that's a horror movie. And that's a mashed genre of film right there, and one of the best of all time.
You guys often set your timelines in a pre-tech decade. Talk about the not so obvious reasons that serves your stories.
Oh, like our episodes specifically. I always complain everything was easier before cell phones.
You do.
Yeah, like I know a lot of people like it. I understand that plight. I don't agree with it. I think we can do stuff around cell phones.
I do too.
Sorry, I'm tangenting. I apologize.
But you're not wrong. It just needs to be more than like, dang, I don't have a signal. Okay, cool. Why did we even have a cell phone in this movie to begin with?
So that we could not have a signal, because people are going to say, why don't they just use their phone?
There's also the advantage of being in a yesteryear era. Stranger Things is good for this. Stranger Things is the idealized version of what the 80s actually was.
Yeah.
And there's to idealize eras. We just mentioned Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is the idealized version of the 30s, seen through the lens of pulp serials. And the advantage of going to the like the modern tech era just offers up more challenges to the characters. And Jim's right though. There is I'm deflecting from like I don't want to deal with cell phones, so let's just set in the 90s.
Do we artificially put things in those earlier eras? I actually always attributed it to because we play our podcast is a big part of it is nostalgia and remember what movie we loved. Let's talk about more about the movies we love. The movies we love are all movies in the past. So we're going to talk about those movies from the past, like Scream.
Yeah.
We didn't set it in the 90s, but that's when it started. Right. So
we have three types of episodes. We have episodes that are the sequel that should be. We have the episodes that are fix what actually is, and we have the this should exist. Like where a sequel that should be is like, hey, do Predator 3. It was one of my favorite episodes of early seasons. If Predator 1 came out in 89 and Predator 2 came out in 92, then this one should have come out in 97. So set your movie in 97.
Yeah.
And the fix the sequel as is would be like, hey, Wonder Woman 84 was close but no cigar. Make the tweaks to make it better, maintain what the studio assumptions were.
Yeah.
And then the whole cloth is just like, hey, carte blanche, do this. And like those three types of episodes. It's mostly the ones of the sequel that should be that tend to be set in a different era because our listeners are pretty savvy in saying you have to set this in 2012. We did one this season that was that. I can't remember which one it was. So something in season 6 was like specifically it had to be in 2012 or something like that. And it's like, oh, okay. The best version of that was Justice League 95.
It was.
Because we got to write a 90s superhero movie.
Yeah.
So it was like sillier because in the 90s we didn't take ourselves so seriously in cinema. The pre-Dark Knight era.
So I guess then my answer to that is I don't know why we do that.
That's my answer too.
I would like to do more modern tech things, especially to prove that now is just as good of a time as any. Except the 90s. The 90s were the best.
Peak. The robots in the Matrix are right.
Ever read a comment that truly surprised you?
In a good way or a bad way?
Oh, in good.
A comment that truly surprised us.
I'm never surprised.
We did have a more than one listener has actually taken a shot at delving into filming things since we've done the show, and we've had a couple people who've delved into taking a shot at writing. I'm not saying we're taking credit for that, but that we gave them that little nudge of encouragement that felt necessary to get them to just try to write or to film something. So I can't think of like a specific comment. I wouldn't want to call anyone out, but we've had the occasion comment or a message sent that said, hey, thanks. You actually gave me the necessary tools or encouragement to. I think the one that surprised me most was that, someone said that we're their favorite breakdown of how to write a story.
That's a huge compliment.
Yeah, that one was actually really heartwarming.
Yeah,
it was like, really flattering.
I knew there'd be one.
Yeah. Because our process isn't always identical. We sometimes use like whiteboard technique where you like lay everything out. We're doing it figuratively because we don't. I sometimes take notes. Sometimes we shoot linear, like we write linearly.
Linearly.
Just knowing that we have offered up at least our techniques of crafting a story have helped, and that one specific person saying, this is the best you could listen to how the process goes, and like I can't say this how the process goes for everyone, but I'm glad that you enjoyed it. So
I think for me, I can't think of a particular comment, but it probably came from I will call people. It either came from Eli or Plucky Plumber in the Discord.
Just a comment.
Yeah, I can't think of one offhand. I apologize.
My favorite demands are the ones that call Jim out, like da 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 da, and for Jim, which is always why I will always state the best version of that is Happy Death Day 3. That's the best one ever. Where our demand came with a specific call out to Jim. There's another comment this season that was like for Jim. I remember what it was, Happy Death Day 3 specifically, the demand was written in such a way I was like, TC, do it this way. Note to TC from the top, don't read this to Jim. Just read the demand this way. And I was like, so I read note to me. Okay, let's see what happens. And it's my favorite. I say it all people who've listened to every episode of the show have heard me say it 50 times.
Talk about compiling summary process at the end of each season and getting to your voting choices.
Like not narrowing down our nominees.
Well, talk about any part of it.
Yeah.
Well, right, because we narrowed it down to 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think we didn't do that the first time we did it.
First time we did 10.
Yeah. And 10 was too many. The votes were spread too thin.
Yeah.
And I think ever since then we've done 6.
Mm-hmm.
So the process for that, you talked about it a little earlier tonight. We've done a lot of superhero movies. Let's maybe not include, and we go over them. But I think what we first do is we go over this
season.
latest season first to see what in that season stood out most that we would want to do.
We usually get to about 10 in that process where we go we just literally go through it like, do you want to write this or not? And we'd be happy to write everything
Mm-hmm.
we've ever come up with, all of them.
Yep.
But when it comes to, do we want this to be the finale, which requires us to write the thing and produce the thing and entertain with the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go through and discuss the whole season. Yes, no, maybe, and get it down to about 10. And then and this is before we get to the end of the season. Usually as we're approaching the end of the season, it'll be like, okay, these 10, but keep in mind, we still have 5 episodes left. And then just looking at those and getting it down to, that's definitely where it comes into part. Like, do we really want 3 superhero movies for the nominees this year? Let's get it to 2. And sometimes it's tough because we know, like, our most listened to episode of season 6 and one of the most listened to episodes of the series was Captain Carter because of the haters. The fact that we would deem to give Peggy Carter her own Captain America movie brought the trolls out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
So there was a discussion of like, do we do this?
Do you want to push those buttons
Out of spite, not just because we love it.
Because it's good for the show.
Yeah.
We live in the internet age where any conversation is
good.
That's
any
true.
publicity is good publicity.
Yeah. But once we
Last
have
card.
once we have our 6, we then it goes to the listeners to just hey, like, what do you guys want? Let's have the votes begin.
Mm-hmm.
And we vote. There's 3 types of votes that come in: our like devoted subscribers, our casual listeners, and the passersby, which has it elicits a lot of interaction with us about people.
Mm-hmm.
We get wonderful and not so wonderful comments of people. The best one this year was like, "Oh, these sound mid."
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
Yeah. Thanks, guy.
Thanks, dude.
Hope you listen to our show.
And then I get this. I don't know if Jim gets this, but once it's to those 6, I'll get asked like, which one do you want to win? I'm like, all 6 of these. We picked these 6 we want.
Yeah,
we will be happy.
Which one?
Yeah, but which one do you want? Which one would you be like most happy with? I'm like, I'm not going to pick one. Like, okay, all 6.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we will have a moment, like we'll finish an episode and go, that feels like a finale right there.
Yeah.
That one's making it all the way. Like,
Yep,
we'll be
yep.
so happy with ourselves, which, plenty of pride in this show.
Mm-hmm.
We'll finish something and go, that might be worth writing that one. We should just write that one anyway. Star Wars.
Yep,
I know,
yep.
that's on me.
Mm-hmm,
That's on me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Something I forgot to ask you. Anything you want to talk about more? Anything you wished I'd asked you?
I said the wrong movie. I do love Brazil, but I should have said Dead Alive.
So glad you fixed that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's important.
And what does that movie say about you?
That movie says so much more truisms about me. That I like dark, weird, creepy, gross things, but also they are hilarious in and of themselves. I don't take myself too seriously, but I have an internal consistency of seriousness, and I really want to go to New Zealand.
He was a dairy farmer. He was. I'm sorry. He was not a wind farmer. I actually really thought about it. That
yeah.
farmer
That
lost
part,
the hole in his hand. No, I think
Oh,
that
see what you
from
did
our
there? We
origin
just
story.
came
I
all
brought it all
the
the
way
way
back
back.
to the beginning.
To actually
that.
truthfully answer your question is the notion of the one I got this question a couple times is like, how long do we think we'll do this? And we've said it since the beginning. We'll do it as long as we can, like as long as we feel like we enjoy doing it. If it ever reaches a point of truly stressing us out, we had one short season. I think season 3 is short for personal reasons. The season was cut short for personal reasons, and David was very kind to let us. This ship runs itself at this point, and he's happy. He told us when he crossed over the series, like, I'm actually surprised when episodes come and go, oh, is that what this episode's about? Cool. He doesn't even have to think about us anymore, and that's pretty great. But as far as like how long we'll do this show has evolved in small ways over the years and big ways over the years, and I don't know. As long as Jim wants to keep doing this, I'm going to keep doing it, and as long as it stays fun.
Yeah.
I think if in the grand scheme of things, and I'll speak for Jim as well, if someone would just pay us to just do this, we would write every movie.
Yeah.
We would
absolutely.
no, I'm sorry. We'd produce every one.
Yeah, that's all. Just pay us.
Every other episode would be the finale.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good place to end.
All right.
I think everyone learned more about you. Thanks for doing this. I know I did.
Sure.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you very much.
We don't have to truly wrap up yet because Dawn's voice is familiar to people. We should say who you are because Dawn has voiced. She was in Justice League '95. You were last year in Blade.
Yes.
Yes, I think those are the two.
A few voices in Blade.
Yeah. So thank you for you suggested this. So
Yeah.
for all of our ego. I just want for the record, this was Dawn's idea.
I'm about to ask for big favors as soon as we go off air.
Well, thank you for putting this together, and for those who've listened and indulged in the history of Studio Demands It here. If there's any questions you have for us, now is the time to ask them. So we'll just wait. Go ahead, ask.
No.
Yes, that one's a yes for me.
It's a yes for you. Okay. We'll discuss that.
Yeah, okay. But if you have any extra questions you want for if we do this again or when we do this again, or we could just answer in the comments section, throw it down there. And yeah, thank you, Dawn.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Jim.
Don.
My pleasure.
Thank you, TC.
Do you all want to shake hands? Don't touch me.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no.
I was going to do a 3-way
Oh,
handshake.
we can do that? Ooh,
Yeah.
everyone sees that.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Thanks, everyone. Bye.